have found the Genesis frequency. This is Dr. Stephen J. Kazmina welcoming you in to another episode of a show that focuses on your whole life prosperity and success. Whole life prosperity and success by cooperating with the universal laws that are available to each and every one of us. This is Quantum Leap Goal Achievement, radical personal transformation, whole life prosperity and success. Now, stay tuned for another exciting episode that'll move the needle in your life from where you are now to where you want to be. And good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time of day it may be, wherever you are in the world. When you hit that play button, so glad you did. You have found the Genesis Frequency podcast, all about personal, professional, and leadership development with me, Dr. Cause and Effect, Dr. Stephen J. Kazmina, coming at you with another episode where we're taking a look, we're continuing on with 5 steps to developing desire and passion. We talk a lot about desire and passion here. We talk a lot about satisfying the longing and discontent within us. And this focus over reviewing these steps of developing desire and passion has really been in our workspace, in our business environment, on our corporate teams, and our corporate environment. And I've been sharing from the brilliant work by Paul J. Meyer and Randy Slechta. Paul J. Meyer, of course, the founder of Leadership Management International. And just to let you know up front, for transparency, I am a franchisee of Leadership Management International. And it's the late Paul J. Meyer, by the way, and Randy Slechta, the current CEO. This book is 5 Pillars of Leadership, how to bridge the leadership gap. And it's just right right down to the nitty gritty what needs to be done to really bridge the leadership gap, to really help move your organization along the way, to develop leaders, to really be the leader and do it in a certain way. You know, I talk a lot about a certain way on this show, and certain way is really my term borrowed from the Science of Getting Rich from by Wallace Wattles, but along the way, this path, this minute, well, this, let's see, this is the 6th year. I'm in my 6th year of doing this podcast. And I've been studying this material really all my life, but really, really deep down, serious study for the last 15 plus years. And along the way, you discover that there are a lot of certain ways to do things to satisfy that longing and discontent that perhaps most of us have been carrying around maybe our entire lifetime in the forms of hopes and dreams and desires and aspirations. But what did we do? We bought into the error thinking, maybe planted by society or well meaning or maybe not so well meaning family, friends, relatives, acquaintances, society, news media, whatever it is, telling us that, hey, somebody else can, but you can't because you're not good enough. You're not smart enough. You don't have what it takes, right? So we put those dreams and desires up on the shelf. And sometimes, this paradigm, these error thoughts, these beliefs that have no basis in reality carry into the corporate environment. And I talk about corporate paradigms in the same way I talk about personal paradigms. Paradigms are a multitude of habits that have almost exclusive control over our habitual behavior. And just as we have individuals have habits that affects our performance, our productivity, the way we manage priorities and go about our our daily tasks and to-do lists. So it is in the corporate environment as well. And so I don't want to get too far off track, but there are habits of corporate culture. of corporate think, of corporate ways of being. And and we have to get all of those habits in alignment with what we want to accomplish in our individual lives, in our small businesses, or in our corporate environment. Everything's got to be in alignment with the vision, the mission, the goals that we want to achieve. And what works best in a corporate environment is when we empower the individuals to connect their personal goals with a corporate goal. So that's a whole nother episode for another day, and we'll talk about that as we move forward. We want to get through these 5 steps to developing desire and passion because it's so important, right? I mean, we got to want it. The individual has to want it. The executive team that has set the objectives and the goals for the organization, the vision, the plan, whether it's for this year, this quarter, a 5-year plan, a 10-year plan, whatever it is, we got to want it. We got to have that desire. We have to have that burning desire and passion. And I wanted to do these 5 steps to developing the desire and passion because I've looked at the material I've studied over the last 15 years and even going back further, 45 years ago. Everything really talked about desire. Every book, just about everyone has a chapter on desire. The ones I've studied anyway. Every motivational speaker, inspirational speaker, spiritual speaker talks about desire, talks about passion. And so that's what we've taken a dive into here, these 5 steps to developing desire and passion. Back to this work by Paul and Randy. I've been sharing prior to sharing the step, and we're on step 4 here. So we'll wrap it up the episode after this one. I share one paragraph here which really kind of sums this up. And this is in a section in the book that talks about 5 steps to developing desire and passion. Within that, before they get into them, they say the desire and passion with which you and your team members face a challenge is an essential part of the soul of your organization. Without it, you and your team lack spiritual guidance and creative expression. Without desire and passion, there is no intuition. Missing is the still, small voice within you to provide insight into both situations and people. Without desire and passion, all of your talents and abilities tend to lie fallow and unresponsive. Your potential is hidden, buried, and dormant. So that's one of the reasons we're going through that. We don't want that. We don't want talents and potential to be buried, to be hidden, to be dormant. We want to tap into all those resources that we have, especially as a team. And that's what we talked about a little bit last week. We talked about finding the wisdom and knowledge that others have to offer to bring to the project, to bring to the objective, and tapping into that. And then ultimately knowing for yourself, each one of us individually, through the 5 mental faculties that we have and through the power of our intuition, just knowing for ourselves after we do our due diligence and gather that information from team members and those who have gone the path before, but not seeking that information as, hey, the be all, do all, end all, relying on that still small voice, which we call the voice of intuition within us. So now we move to our 4th step. Of course, the first one is gaining that self-knowledge, knowing what we're all about, knowing what our limits are, knowing where we can improve, where we need improvement, what our strong points are. So go back and listen to step 1. Second was making sure that the goals that we set as a team, the targets we pursue, and the rewards are personally meaningful to all of us and to each member of the team. And of course, last week I just shared what that was all about. So, what we're taking a dive into is step 4, which is, and I'll read this paragraph, then we'll talk about it. We'll expand on it here a little bit. Visualize your success. Nothing increases desire and passion for achievement like controlled and directed visualization. Something unique and amazing happens when you practice looking into the future to see yourself in possession of your goals. You become so excited, so motivated, so passionate, and desirous to reach them that nothing can deter you or draw you off course. That's it. That's the paragraph. Visualize your success. Nothing increases desire and passion for achievement like controlled and directed visualization. Something unique and amazing happens when you practice looking into the future to see yourself in possession of your goals. You become so excited, so motivated, so passionate, and desirous to reach them that nothing can deter you or draw you off course. What is that something unique and amazing happen? Yes, you do become so excited and motivated and passionate. But why is that? Well, why is that is part of the certain way I talk about a lot. And I talk about visualizing and visualization a lot on this show. You can find plenty of episodes on visualization. Go to the website, genesisfrequency.com. Use the search tool just to click on and type in visualization. You'll get an abundance of episodes to talk about this, but you can't talk about it enough as far as I'm concerned. So the reason that we get excited, the reason that something happens, something amazing happens when you practice looking into the future is because we're feeling it. We're engaging our feelings and emotions. And that is, again, is part of the certain way. That is a key ingredient, a key element and making manifest our desires and our objectives. And this holds true whether it's in our personal lives with personal dreams and goals, or in our professional lives, or on the corporate team for our company vision, small business vision, whatever it may be. We have to see it. And we're seeing more and more and more examples of individuals and companies buying into this, having creative visualization sessions. We see it in mainstream sports now, all the sports league. You can look at the sidelines of any game, the dugouts, the batters, especially the golfers, right? They step back from the tee or step back from the shot. You even see them. I mean, they capture this on nationwide broadcast, global broadcast. They step back from their shot. You see them closing their eyes. Or you see them that looks like maybe if you don't, and if you're not familiar with this material, you see them, they're looking like, what are they doing? They're like staring into space or they're closing their eyes. What's the matter? Is something wrong with them? No, they're seeing their ball travel, the arch, the arc, and they're seeing it land right where they want it to land, right where they want it to go. They're visualizing and seeing it. So what are they doing? They're seeing their goal, right? They're seeing it real. They're feeling into it. They're leaning into the shot. And that's how it is with our desires and objectives and our goals and our dreams. Again, this is for you as an individual or you and your corporate team with corporate goals and desires and objectives. You got to see it. You got to push back from everything that's going on in your world and just see it, experience. Do this with your corporate team. Take a session, take some time out and do this. See it so you can feel it real. Remember, it has already been created. If you set the in concrete and you've crystallized your thinking with clarity, this is where we're going. This is what it looks like. Here is the vision, right? Here's the vision. Here's what it looks like when all is said and done at the end of this year, or at the end of 5 years, or at the end of this quarter, whatever it is. You should have both. You should have a long range, and then you should have, chunk it all down so you can, break it into bite-sized pieces. But whatever it is, the end game, what it looks like when all things come together, do what they're supposed to do, and you see it. You've already created it because you've used the power, another mental faculty, another higher power. You've used the power of your imagination to visualize what it looks like, where you're taking the company. Here's what it looks like with all our objectives, our dreams, the vision fulfilled. So you take this time and you visualize it. You see it. This is part of crystallizing your thinking at the beginning. But just because you did that first step of crystallizing your vision and your goals and seeing it doesn't mean you stop doing it. That's what this step is talking about. To continue, to continue. That's what's unique about these steps. And you almost hate to call them steps because steps tell me, okay, you do this first, then you do this second, then you do this third, which yeah, you do, but they're all ongoing and synchronistic because you're doing them all at the same time in harmony with the other. For instance, if I'm working on visualization here, I'm always seeking what we did talked about last week, where I'm always seeking the wisdom of those who have gone before me. If I did step three and thinking I'm done with that, and then I'm introduced to somebody new this week. Well, that last week I was taking input. I'm not now. We're selling ourselves short, right? Because we become as we move through these steps to develop desire and passion, we're becoming attractive, more and more attractive to what we want to accomplish, right? Don't forget action, reaction. So as we're living and being and moving and breathing in this energy of the objective fulfilled, right? We're attracting to us events, circumstances, individuals, situations, all kind of things that support us along the way. It's just how it works. So if we say, "Hey, we already did that step last week. I'm in visualization now," and we just reject somebody new, maybe we're introduced to, or maybe a new hire that's just absolutely brilliant. Well, it just doesn't work that way. We don't want to reject that. So that's the one thing I dislike about calling them steps because they're all happening and we look to all of them at the same time. So just keep that in mind. So we want to, I think this fourth one, visualizing, is one of the most important ones because it involves the feeling tone and the emotional state, which is so important. So we move into it and encourage your team to do this. Encourage your executive team, your management team, your frontline workers, everybody in the organization to see it. Better yet, get them together and do this together. Do it in your departments, depending on how big you are and how this would work. Do it. Have everybody close their eyes and see it. This is where it really comes in having individuals on the team have tie their corporate goals or their professional goals in with their personal goals. Hey, if I get this right here at work and I increase my productivity and I improve my performance and I buy into this corporate vision and this corporate objective and goal for this year, my rewards will be personally, and then they tie in their own goal. So that's another way that we develop that passion and develop that desire, right? So when we put the feeling tone into it and we're visualizing it, it's like, wow, this gets really exciting because we're seeing it real. What you have to realize is once you've created it using the power of your imagination, it's already a real thing. You have already created it in the world of non-form, in the invisible realm of your imagination. So simply what we're doing is we're moving it. And you've heard me say this a million times before. And if you're new to the show, I have a lot of new listeners, so I'm going to repeat it again. It's already been created. And this is how everything is made manifest, how everything has been brought from the invisible world of non form as an idea into the world of form. And what do we do? What do we, somebody might say, well, that's that airy fairy, law of attraction stuff. Well, not really, because this is how everything in the corporate environment has been made manifest. Let's look at Henry Ford casting an engine in a single block. Everybody said that was impossible, but he had the vision. He visualized it. He felt, he felt it. He saw it in his mind's eye, right? He built it there first. His engineer said, no, there's no way it can be done. There's no way. Told him over and over again. He said, I will have it. That was that determination, that burning desire. I will have it. He said, you're going to get it done. You're going to get it done. You're going to get it done. And they got it done. But think about it. Everything that you see was made manifest this way. You have a company that manufactures office equipment. They have an idea for a new desk. Where do they create it first? Before it even gets to the drawing table, there's an idea in someone's mind. The invisible, non form area of consciousness where we put it all together. Doesn't matter. So the new desk, the new design, the new car, the new automobile, the new doorknob, the new lock, the new copy machine, on it goes. It's created this way. We visualize it. We see it. We see it from the end game, and then we take the steps necessary to get there. We don't create from results that haven't worked. We don't create from problems. We create from the vision and visualizing and seeing it done. And that's where we create from. That's part of the certain way. So see it, visualize it. How does it look? You've already done this work. You've already identified where you want to take the company, where you want to take the organization, how you want to perform, how productive you want to be, what you want to develop, what you want to create. So see it, feel into it, lean into that visualization so you get excited about feeling it real. Wow, I'm taking this company that's done $50 million a year for the last 20 years, and I'm taking them to $100 million. Visualize that, feel into how does that feel? How does that feel to be recognized? Let your emotion, let your personality, let your ego into it, whatever motivates you personally and professionally, include that in the visualization here. This step is so important. I could read it over and over again. Again, visualize your success. It increases your desire and passion for achievement because you're feeling it. You're moving into the emotional state. This is already real. It's already real, and it is. Just like everything else in your imagination, you've already created it. This is already real. When you add the feelings and emotions, you become attractive to everything that is supportive of the finish line, the vision, what you visualize, what you see. And amazing things happen when you move into the feeling tone of the dream being real. Remember, that's how it works. Thoughts plus feelings plus actions equals results. So, what we're dealing with is step one of cause thoughts, creativity here, the use of creative imagination and seeing it every single day. Just pushing back, setting some time, making this a priority, make an appointment with yourself to visualize what you want to accomplish and achieve in your organization and in your life. So important. All right, step 4 is next episode, so make sure you tune in for that. We've gone over, so we're going to wrap it up for today. I encourage you to reach out to me, successappointment.com. I mentioned earlier that I'm a franchisee of Leadership Management International. I'm a certified Proctor Gallagher consultant. I have a doctorate and holistic life coaching and counseling and just navigating the human experience. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about what's next. Perhaps we talk about doing some leadership development in your organization. I have a plan. We have a plan. We have a program. Let's talk about doing that. Where's our next group of leaders going to come from? I mean, it's really scary out there as I talk to leaders all over the globe. You know, the average knowledge worker these days can't go more than 3 minutes without checking a communication device or email, text messages, or looking at social media. And we know what a rabbit hole that can be. We have to improve performance, productivity, and priority management to develop these leaders. So it starts there, and then we move into so many other of the aspects of being a leader. So let's have a conversation about that. Let's have a conversation about your goals and your dreams and why you might be stuck. So go to successappointment.com. Successappointment.com gets you on my calendar. It'll open up in your time zone. Schedule some time to have a conversation with me, and we'll identify what it is you want, what's keeping you stuck, and what is the plan to get to where you want to be. And this can be whether it's for you personally as an individual, professionally, in your corporate environment, maybe coming in, doing some training, doing a workshop, doing a keynote talk, whatever it is, let's have a conversation. Successappointment.com. I'm also looking for individuals that want to move into this wonderful world of personal, professional, and leadership development. Perhaps make it a career or become an entrepreneur or a solopreneur, whatever it is. Looking for individuals that would be interested in that and generating a lucrative income for themselves. So if that's you, same process, successappointment.com. For now, that's going to do it. This is the Genesis Frequency Podcast. Please share it with someone. This is Dr. Cause and Effect, Dr. Stephen J. Cosmina, wishing you an infinitely spectacular day. God bless you.